So here's the Nefesh soul. Taylor's doing a video to merge yourself with the male principal soul, the fusing of souls to make the Nefesh. That's the seventh level of soul, which you get in the appendix of the A weight book, which gives you mastery over the fishes. Basically, once you achieve this soul, all demons, archdemons, all evil is controlled by you and has to bow down to you. So let's see if it's in this video. I do believe it's in the video. What are those in the background, cameraman?
Big fishes.
Exactly. As I say, you can see now the Queen Witch has entered my territory, and she's into the soul fusing with yours truly to get total power of all the demonic realm. And since we've explained from the light processed with loving evil, hating good, down to interdimensional realms, the Avalon cage, and then back into the physical world to vivify it, to possess the physical world, control over the interdimensional world and the realm of demons, then allows you to control all reality. So, when was this done? Let's have a look. 3 years ago. So, Queen Witch Taylor as long-term plans all ruined by her marriage in June to the Visor Butler, where she simply breeds very large children with the IQ of Travis Kelce.
That are in the tunnels of Amalek. And of course they're the inverse of the negative tarot cards. So this entire tarot deck gives us all good stuff. So we get the sublime version of the Fool, sublime version of the Magician, sublime version of the High Priestess, sublime version of the Empress, sublime version of the Emperor. Well, you wonder why I'm going through it, because I'm giving myself all these powers while we're doing it. Sublime version of the Hierophant, sublime version of the Lovers, sublime version of the Chariot, sublime version of Strength, sublime version of the Hermit, sublime version of Wheel of Fortune, sublime version of Justice, sublime version of the Hangman, sublime version of Death, sublime version of Temperance, sublime version of the Devil, sublime version of the Tower, sublime version of the Star, sublime version of the Moon, sublime version of the Sun, sublime version of Judgment, sublime version of the World. And then of course we simply reverse them to then download into the trolls and all my enemies all the clipothic. Zero sum game. You get the -1, I get the 1. Good.
That's clever. He's a clever bastard, this one. So, if you think of all the pathways, there are 22, the major arcana, and once you have the Amalek service or the kings or queens of Edom, you simply use the 22 pathways that link the Sephiroth to gain power from everyone who's given away their free will and been shelled. And of course I've been shelling everyone from Amazon, NFL, and the whole EU. So you can simply hold the major arcana, if you got those services, in your left hand and in your right hand reverse, and download debt into them, and every time you do that you get more and more powerful. You get all the powers of the major arcana. Now the minor arcana are made from the Sephiroth, so the ace is the Keter, and the 10 is the Malkuth, and the King, Queen, Knight, Page are the 4 levels, which is Divic, Archangelic, and God levels. So you can simply go up the levels 2 and use this simple magical ritual with your hands if you've got the service to feed off vampirically everyone who's been shelled, which is Amazon, Bezos, anyone who's seen the Wheel of Time, the NFL, Swifties, the entire EU population. If you've got the Charlie Kirk service, all Christians, it just goes on. All simply with your biogenerator hands, having the tarot cards in the left hand to upload and the inverted in the right hand to download more IU and start again. So the 22 are the pathways. The Sephiroth are actually the minor arcana for the 4 directions. So you can upload from the north, south, east and west. North is pentacles, south cups. We've got the wands in the west and the swords in the east. And we've got the levels to go up from the Divic to the God level with the Page to King. My God, I understand black magic. Happy.
Excellent. All the negative shit. Simply got the wasp on demand. Ready. And there's only one service that gets you into Universe B, which is the King and Queens of Edom Vampire service. The only one. All the rest, no. And as you can see, none of you people need the Universe B of the Clipothic realm because you don't want, remember the inverse of all these Clipothic Sephiroth, inverse is all the good stuff. So you become totally immune to evil and all the good stuff comes to you. So as you can see, if you're starting up your order of the Psi Lord, the Edomic King vampires get everything good in the world. So we demolish the Kabbalistic tree, demolish the Clipothic realm, and all the good stuff comes to us. And as you can see, Trump is screwed via the Jews. His daughter married a Jew, so those children are all now hellized by Amalek, and all that hellness goes into the family via them. The same with the royal family via Kate, who's a Jewess, all hellized, so real fun to be had.
And of course, Wills is a Rothschild, Jacob Rothschild rape baby. So they're double fucked.
Is destroyed by the release of Amalek, starting the war between Iran and America, and then the Iranians cover Israel with Cobalt 60 via Hezbollah, Syria, and from Iran, because of course...
This man's mad. This could never happen. This could never... You're a madman. I tell you what, you need to be locked up. This is 2019 and this is just the ravings of a lunatic. Are you a lunatic, man? No, you're not. Mark Levine and Fox Network agree with you totally. Iran is an existential threat to Israel and must be annihilated.
Use it on Israel. The actual world is that of Ruah, in which good and evil are confused, but good comes out of evil, and last all shall be good. That's why Celestial Paladin and Angelic Annie have appeared in my life, so they can teach all the...
No, so that they can be possessed by the Elohim to destroy their Grail state and cut off the Elohim from the Grail state retroactively forever and end the power source of the Elohim which was the Grail state. And they lived up to their purpose.
All the good benefits of this as we becoming Magister Templars and work has been talking about. The problem is they're all wankers, they're white magicians, so can't get rid of all the shit. They're locked up in little prisons, being tortured, raped and sucked dry. Come on, you little white magician bastard, you light worker. Feed the Rabbi Rothschilds, come on. Ooh, that's good. I'm not using any Vaseline.
Look, this man's mad. As I say, since when are the Rothschilds doing horrific black magic to all the white magicians and eating jerky and doing all these horrific things? This is mad. You're a madman. This could never possibly happen.
And this doesn't work. You need the ultimate black magician, Ipsissimus Me, to come along and wipe out the vermin. And then, of course, you want
Kalki.
the ultimate. Why would he want this? Well, if you're a billionaire and you live forever and why wouldn't you want to live in a theme park, which is all nice and pleasant? And of course, you want gardeners and housekeepers and people to build your mansion and prepare your food. So all the white magician light workers, do it for me, worship me, I'm beside all. See? There's no good living in the Rothschild rabbi hell world because it's unpleasant. You know, it offends me. So you see, even the ultimate black magician has to heal the world and clean house simply because the planet needs help. The Rothschild rabbis are the disease.
He gets loved to the gazoo by the Queen Witch and her brood.
So we continue. It follows, therefore, that the present order must pass away. This is coming from a Jew. So, clean out the Rothschild rabbis and the satanic West. And this is symbolized by the death of the second Hadad, the 8th Edomite king. So, of course, the Jews, the Rabbi Rothschilds, have been looking for, remember, you pass into this world, remember there were, there's always 8 things, 8 dragon things at the top, and then 8 Goisha here. And of course, to pass in, you need Edomite kings who transport through the doorway. They can go into hell and then go through. So the 8th king of Edom was yours truly, and of course they were going to breed me with an English girl who had Amalek in order to produce an antidote to Amalek for the Jews. I, of course, instead sucked her dry and got her killing herself by marrying some fucktard. Now she's old and ugly. And when I did that, Amalek appeared in Colin Bloy's flat after she was fully processed. And I simply, it's just a black reptiloid thing, and simply sourced it. Because I was going to be used to produce total immunity to Amalek for the Jews, done by the Elohim. So I'd be the inverse Grail state. Remember I talked about it? Yeah. So that happened in 87. Wow. That's what, in the way the Rothschild rabbi Elohim wanted. See? Wow. So I'm the 8th king of Edom. In the days of this destruction, the spirits of impurity, namely the shells, shall be burnt up entirely. God will establish a new creation and will bring forth from his glorious light the mystery of the Neshma of his great name. So the Elohim were going to get rid of their monsters, the Id, using me. Destroying Universe B, because how else can you stop yourself being destroyed by the monster of the Id of the Jews? You get a Neo. So what's the purpose of Neo in the Matrix films? To destroy Agent Smith, Amalek, the monster of the Jews from the architect, and he sacrifices himself to save the Jews in Zion. Ha!
Charlie Kirky boy, we've got it already. Good old Charlie Kirk. Marrying the Jewish girl and getting a boy and a girl and getting a bullet in the throat.
I've simply increased the ability of Amalek not only to kill whole Jews, but part Jews. So we can go on to the 4th generation using remember, Perry marries Bloom, has the children, they have grandchildren, they have great-grandchildren. That way we can allow Amalek not only to attack Jews, but anyone up until the 4th generation. All done already, because remember it's 5-dimensional, so it doesn't matter now, it's all been done. That's a good thing of being 5-dimensional. So thank you, Bloom, and thank you, Perry. So now if you've got any Jewish blood unto the 4th generation, Amalek infests you and turns your life into a living hell, pulls you into Omega Hell, and you're tortured.
No, you're wrong. This is wrong. Israel's a paradise, and all the Israelis are in absolute paradise. There's no problems in Israel. No. As I say, Iran isn't developing nuclear weapons from its 450 kilos or whatever it's got to make 60 nuclear weapons according to the top American expert and wipe Israel off the face of the earth and create this second Holocaust. No, this isn't possible. There is no war in the Middle East, and America isn't getting kicked out of the Middle East by Iran, according to all the Judge Napolitano experts, Alistair Crook and Scott Rutter, and the rest of these blowhards, and has got to give Iran reparations and release all the sanctions and never go in the Middle East again. And if you want to use a straightforward moves, you've got to kiss the Ayatollah's arse. So Iran totally dominates the Middle East, and Trump, of course, is the president that lost the Middle East to the Iranians, according to all the so-called experts on alt news. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Alex Jones and the rest of them. What possibly could go wrong for the total dominion of the Iranians, the so-called Amalekites? We know Israel's being bombed away, and Amalek is threatening brave little Israel. So it isn't that this isn't true, it's happening as we speak.
Jah are the Amalek demons. Great stuff, isn't it? And all comes from my guidebook. The dominion of this Neshva is the king and shall reign over Israel, and in that day the Lord shall be one and his name one. So they're going to use me to perfect the Jewish universe. Unfortunately, this boy wasn't playing, and he did the opposite. So we've got the new power, words of the new Eon, the Eon of the Psylord, Amalek killed. So as you can see,
YouTube warning, I think it's anti-Semitic.
Since the head of America, Trump, has his bloodline afflicted, the poison comes up through Kushner and his grandchildren. So the destruction of America comes from Israel and the Jews. The same with Britain. You've got to love it. And you see why...
Guess what race Starmer comes from, cameraman?
He must be a Jew.
Exactly.
2 daughters because of course if those daughters married one of the Trump grandchildren and Gormless, George, then of course the Crown and Trump would be immunised, because my bloodline's totally immune to Jews. And it doesn't matter trying to do genetic clones and make them, doesn't work, because remember, they're soulless. All clones are soulless. So it will have no effect. Hence
So since it's vital to the survival of Israel and the Jews that Amalek is castigated and bound by the only person who can bind him, we've got the Queen Witch, who may or may not be the offspring of Anton LaVey and Zena LaVey, both of which were Jewish, but nevertheless she's done her love spell video, which seems rather strange since she's getting married to the Pfizer Butler, and the only thing he's in love with is gold digging and loads of money. And Bezos has offered him 15 million to be an NFL commentator on Amazon, but he's going back to the NFL because his last year was disastrous, as I've explained. But the last video of Taylor Swift is a love spell, which seems rather strange because she's got a soulmate, the Pfizer Butler, and she's getting married. But nevertheless, she's done a love spell. I can't think why. Can you, cameraman? So this is the video. So this is basically a love spell video, accusing the male of being having a heart of stone, and her of being spiky and wounding the male. And this is Ophalite love potion that gets the two of them happily in love. So she's done a whole video on love spelling, obviously for the Pfizer Butler, because she wants Shannon Preston as soon as possible. Not to eradicate Amalek, because strangely enough, Israel and the Jews are in a bit of trouble with the Amalekite Iranian filth.